Let's talk about what I like to call the dongle dance.
Oh, the dongle dance. Yeah, we've all been
You
there.
know the move, right? You walk into this fancy conference room, and despite the thousands of dollars spent on the 4K screen and tracking camera, you're still crawling under the table, trying to figure out how to connect your laptop to the room system without killing the battery.
It's the paradox of modern meeting rooms, honestly. We have these incredibly smart devices, but, well, dumber connections. The friction usually isn't the software, it's the physical layer.
Exactly. So for today's deep dive, we have a mission to unpack a specific piece of hardware that claims to solve this exact bring-your-own-device challenge. It's the Kramer SWT3-41-U-T.
Quite a mouthful of a model number.
It is a mouthful. It's a 4x1 USB switcher transmitter. But before we get totally lost in the alphabet soup, what is the actual problem this box solves for you when you walk into a room?
Think of it as an architectural shift.
Hmm.
Usually, a room relies on a dedicated PC to run the show, right? This device flips that. It assumes your laptop is the brain.
And the room is just a set of high-end peripherals waiting for you to take control.
Precisely.
Okay, so let's look at the 4x1 part. That implies 4 inputs, which I'm guessing is a mix of legacy and modern ports.
Yeah, it is. You get 2 USB-B ports, which you typically use for a permanent room PC or maybe a guest desktop. But the really interesting part is the 2 USB-C ports.
Now, I have to be a bit skeptical here because, USB-C can mean anything from just basic charging to full data transfer. A lot of switchers go cheap here. Does this actually replace the need for a separate docking station?
They really do go cheap, but that's the key differentiator here. These ports aren't just passing video, they support USB Power Delivery 3.0, so they're pushing up to 60 watts.
60 watts is decent. I mean, maybe not enough for a heavy-duty engineering workstation running CAD all day.
Fair point. It won't charge a beastly gaming laptop at full tilt.
A lot.
But for the standard corporate Ultrabook you bring into a meeting, it's plenty.
Meaning you walk in, plug in one single cable, and you instantly get the room's 4K camera, the mics, audio, and hardwired Ethernet.
And the power. You've effectively removed both the bulky power brick and the dongle from the whole equation.
Which definitely cleans up the table. Yeah. But there's another letter in that model name, the T.
The transmitter part.
Right. Why does a switcher even need to transmit?
Well, because nobody wants a rack of noisy gear sitting right on the conference table. The T means this unit can push signals up to 100 meters.
That's about 330 feet. Right. Over standard CCAT boot-twisted pair cables.
Exactly. So the messy gut of the system, all the connections to ceiling mics and DSPs, that all lives hidden away in a closet down the hall.
Using that half 19-inch form factor so it mounts cleanly in a rack.
Yeah, keeping the aesthetic clean. But the challenge with long-distance transmission is usually latency, especially with 4K video.
Right. If I'm waving my hands and the video on screen is half a second behind, the meeting is pretty much ruined.
But this creates a 10 gigabit per second pipeline, supporting USB 3.2 Gen 2 speeds.
So that's enough headroom for raw, uncompressed video from those high-end PTZ cameras without any stutter.
Exactly, zero lag.
Now, what about the user experience? We've all been in that awkward scenario where someone unplugs, the screen goes black, audio disconnects, and you spend 5 minutes toggling settings.
Right. Kramer uses this thing they call collaborative online meeting switching. It's basically active signal detection.
So if I unplug my laptop and you plug yours in, the device automatically reroutes the room's camera and mic to your computer.
Automatically. No remote needed.
But what if we don't want it to decide for us? Sometimes automation is just annoying. Can you physically force it to switch?
You absolutely can. It supports remote IP controller connections, a web interface, and even contact closure buttons.
For those not living in the AV world, what does contact closure look like?
Imagine those little physical show me buttons embedded directly into the table. You press it, and it overrides the automation to give you control instantly. It keeps the interface tactile.
Speaking of control, let's talk about the IT teams who have to manage this. A USB device bridging personal laptops to a corporate network sounds like a massive security nightmare.
It definitely can be. And that's why it features standard IT grade 802.1x authentication.
Which makes it safe for corporate LANs.
Exactly. It allows the device to handshake securely. It's a managed network endpoint, not just an open, dumb pipe.
So we have to adjust the price. It's listing around $1,400. For a switch, that feels really steep compared to buying a cheap USB hub online.
It does sound steep at first, but you have to look at the bill of materials it actually replaces.
Right. Because if you didn't have this, you'd need a high-end USB switcher, a separate HD basic extender set for the rack, and a commercial docking station for power and Ethernet.
You're paying for that consolidation and the reduction of failure points. Fewer cables to break, fewer power supplies to fail.
It essentially removes the friction from starting a meeting. The hardware basically makes itself invisible.
And that is the ultimate goal. The best room technology is the kind you don't even notice.
Which leaves you, the listener, with an interesting question to chew on as we wrap up this deep dive. With the rapid rise of flexible workspaces, is the hardware that connects us actually becoming more critical than the devices we carry in our bags?
The infrastructure is definitely the unsung hero here.
Something to think about the next time you plug in.